Hey guys, it's me again, Rion from Rion in Play, and today we're going to continue my post-plant molly lineups for Killjoy that I use. This is the series wherein I show you the lineups that I do in my matches, as well as some of the setups that I do when I'm using Killjoy as an attacker. Okay? Just as a heads up, the reason why this video took long is because, my storage kind of messed up, and I had to redo this video all over again, and basically that's it. That's the gist of it. So again, this is just a quick reminder before we go on with the video. You shouldn't be relying on these lineups on all of your matches. This is just a mix-up that you could be doing, and there is a caveat on how you should use this. Okay, you should only use this when you are completely outgunned or outskilled by the enemy, or if you are outnumbered. All right. With that out of the way, let's go ahead with the video. Alright, so we're currently here in Ascent, and we'll start things off here at B site. So how I would execute an attack with Killjoy is, generally I would be leaving an alarm bot right here. As soon as the barrier gets lifted, I go ahead and place a barrier right here immediately and try to clear my corners. As soon as we are in sight, normally I would be the one holding the spike. As soon as we are in the site, I would go ahead and place a turret right over here. This covers both this area and this area, basically these two ends, and we'll normally plant the spike over here.
I dropped the spike.
So there are two molly lineups here. Okay, this is my default. I would always leave an alarm bot here, but if I would be doing a lineup, that would change. Just the alarm bot. Now, the safest alarm bot placement would be here, so that you could cover market, since one of the first lineup that I'm gonna show you guys is over here. Now, normally, as soon as the spike has been planted, your enemies have like 45 seconds for them to defuse the spike, and it takes about 7 seconds for the spike to be fully diffused from the time wherein you initiate the defuse itself. Okay. Now, the mollies themselves lasts for about 4.2 seconds, 4.5 something. So you just have to time it right. At this range, you can still hear the diffuse happening. So as soon as you hear the diffuse happening,
Placing swarm grenade.
your molly has 4 seconds for it to land to that spot. Okay?
Swarm grenade.
So the
out.
lineup here is this, right over here. This point at this crack in the sky, just place your crosshair over there. Doesn't matter where, just make sure that it's here on this point.
Placing swarm
Throw your
grenade.
molly, it's gonna land right over there.
Swarm grenade out.
Okay, so there is a slight margin for error for this lineup. That's why it's very easy. The problem is you are completely out in the open. If someone goes mid, you are completely out in the open. If someone tries to flank you from CT, they would easily see you throwing your molly, and they would be alerted to your position.
Placing swarm grenade.
And they would actually know what you're doing. So that's molly
Swarm
lineup
grenade
number
out.
1. So normally, as I've said, I would be leaving an alarm bot right over here when we're taking B side. Lineup number 2 is right over here. Once you've planted the spike, the standard post-plant defense is actually like this. Someone should be always here, right? So normally I would go ahead and volunteer to go over here. Let's get an off for this one. The next lineup is actually fairly simple. You see this pipe over here? Line that up to this wall. As soon as the edges touch, it doesn't have to be perfect. Just aim your crosshair over at this point right here. This stream in the sky, there's a point over here. Just place your crosshair right over there. If you throw your
Placing swarm
molly,
grenade.
it's gonna land right there.
Swarm grenade out.
That general area. So the timing here is a bit different. Normally I would go ahead and throw my molly first.
Placing swarm grenade. Swarm grenade out.
Initiate it.
Placing swarm
And
grenade.
then after I initiate it, wait about half a second or 1 second,
Swarm
and then I
grenade
throw
out.
my second molly. The reason why I do that is because this lineup itself, the molly isn't in the air for far too long. It's only in the air for like 2-3 seconds. So you have that buffer time
Placing swarm grenade.
before you throw
Swarm
your
grenade
second molly.
out. Placing swarm grenade. Swarm grenade out.
Okay, so that covers B side. We'll go ahead and continue this off at A side. And we are back, still in Ascent, but this time around at A site. And this is actually my favorite site to take when I'm playing Killjoy. Primarily because there's just so much closed angles that I could take advantage of. And I am a passive player when I'm playing Valorant.
Alarm bot
It's just a
out.
default when I'm playing as Killjoy. So when we're
Call
attacking,
robot.
before the barrier gets lifted, I would be placing an alarm bot right over here.
Placing alarm bot.
So if anyone is flanking, the alarm bot gets triggered. Next, before I let my teammates peek, I would be placing
Placing sentry.
a turret right over there. If they want to take the chance of picking an enemy off from that angle, they're free to do so. I'm not going to bother placing a turret. So, if I don't place a turret right over there, I would go ahead and place a turret right over here.
Turret out.
This covers if someone is at heaven or at hell. The turret will take care of them. We will be alerted if my turret starts shooting. Obviously, if it's shooting towards heaven, we know that someone's over there trying to reposition. If my turret is shooting straight down, it means that someone is in hell, right? So the default plant spot for us, for my play group, is right over here,
Here, I dropped
in
a
front
spike.
of generators. Now, if I'm not doing any lineups, I would usually place my mollies over here, right at this grass patch, because the thing about this grass patch is that this isn't actually per se a floor. Rather, this is just a graphic design. So if you throw your molly right over
Placing
here,
swarm grenade.
it's gonna dig through that graphic, okay, that texture, and this perfectly hides your molly. Your opponents won't actually see it at all. They will hear that there's a molly nearby, but they won't know where it is. So that's my secret here in Ascent, and I'm sharing it with you guys.
Swarm grenade out.
And obviously this covers a large area in front of generator. So that is my default setup when I'm attacking A site as Killjoy. Now, here's the molly lineups. The reason why I like A site is because my alarm bot and my turret do not change at all. Their positions do not change when I'm doing my lineups. So that's one less thing that you have to worry about. The only thing that you really have to worry about is when you're planting. If you're the one planting the spike, your alarm bot gets disabled because you are out of its activation range. So a variation of this is sometimes I would leave a molly right over here, or I would just keep both mollies and I would position myself right over here. This is molly lineup number 1, and that is if the spike is in front of generator. All you have to remember is this point of this cloud right here. Move your crosshair to the left by a bit.
Placing
If you
swarm
throw
grenade.
your molly, that part, it's gonna land right over here.
Swarm grenade
It's
out.
gonna hit the front of the generator, and it's gonna land right in front of the spike. So that's molly lineup number 1. So I'll show it to you guys again. I'll throw a molly,
Placing swarm grenade.
wait for it for the trajectory
swarm
to
grenade.
vanish
Swarm
in front of my
grenade
screen,
out.
and then I throw my second molly, like so.
Swarm grenade out.
Now, what if the spike is planted in front of boxes? There's also a
I got the
lineup, but
spike.
it's in the same position.
I dropped the spike.
I'll show you guys a variation of that lineup, but it's still in the same spot. So we're going to rely on our interface for this one, okay? Focus your attention on this interface right here, where your ult is, okay? At the very corner of it, line that up to the bevel at the wall, right over here. Okay, right over here. If you throw your molly from this position,
Placing swarm grenade.
your molly's gonna land right in front of boxes.
Swarm grenade out.
And that's gonna cover a substantial area in front of the green boxes here at the A side. Now, I don't have clips of me actually successfully pulling off my B site molly lineup, but I do have a lot of um, molly lineups for A site that I was successfully able to pull off. Again, A site here in Ascent is my favorite site to take as Killjoy when I'm attacking. So this is the reason why I don't have much footage for my molly lineups for B site because I've never bothered with B side at all. Okay, normally I would lurk mid or I would go ahead and just full on take A side with my team. So I'll go ahead and show you a few clips of me doing my A side molly lineup successfully against other people here at Ascent. Okay, so I'll go ahead and show you those clips right now.
Oh, di pa napatay. Tarik ng bolt.
Pwede mo na iba to yan.
Meron pa
Swarm
ako dito.
grenade out.
One enemy remaining.
down.
See?
Placing
At
swarm
meron pang
grenade.
isa.
Yeah.
Swarm grenade out.
Hindi na ginagalaw. Nasa likod,
Alright,
nasa likod.
GG's.
Next try.
GG na yan, GG na yan.
Wine.
Found them. Killed my bot. Swarm grenade out.
One enemy remaining.
Placing
Last
swarm
player
grenade.
standing.
Swarm grenade out.
Sabi niyo pala.
Turret destroyed. Placing swarm grenade. Placing swarm grenade. Swarm grenade out.
One enemy remaining.
Huli yan.
Swarm grenade out.
Detain?
Na detain.
Alam ko.
Nice, nice.
Nice. OP yun.
Wag na. Attacking tayo eh.
Their
Nice
tech
one,
is
nice
only
one.
as good
Ay,
as their skill.
like.
You.
Okay lang na.
Sabihin mo, Race, kung magpipick ka, magbablind ako, patagos.
Sige, wait lang. Blinded ako.
Ito mo na.
Sorry.
Sagot lang,
Placing
sagot
swarm
lang.
grenade.
Sagot lang.
Swarm
Huli yan,
grenade
huli yan.
out.
One enemy remaining.
Brian, sige na. Takbo lang.
GG.
Bray!
Alright, so that covers Ascent for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. In the next guide, I'll go and cover Haven. I haven't had any successful clips of me pulling off my Haven lineups in an actual match, so I might have to improvise and use a custom game with my friend as an example for the lineups. But in the meantime, I'll keep on playing. I'll keep on trying to get more clips for my Haven lineups, so that I could provide you with some actual footage of me using it in an actual match. That said, I hope you are safe, I hope you are healthy, and I hope you enjoyed the content. If you did, please leave a like, and I guess I'll see you on the next video. Goodbye, guys.